out-of-body experience.
Welcome to the Brothers of Wrestling podcast.
Welcome back to the Brothers Wrestling Podcast with your host, Logan and...
Hayden.
And today, Hayden, I wanted to talk about the World Heavyweight Championship match from this past Monday Night Raw. Braun Breaker, CM Punk. It was pretty heavily booked. Triple H went pretty heavy on
it was extra booked.
And in the end,
it was overbooked.
CM Punk comes out on top. I know you hate that, but CM Punk retains the world title. I had said previously that I thought it was time to give Braun Breaker the title just to shake things up, but they chose to keep it on Punk, and I did like there was a little bit of storytelling in that match. You know, Triple H likes his storytelling. Braun Breaker, his face at the end of the match, he started to get a little overwhelmed. He started to get a little I don't know, not really nervous, but started to get a little bit more hurried up. He had a hurried look on his face, like he wanted to get this over with.
Yeah, he was. He let the big moment get to him in that match.
Yeah, and then
he
show
talked a lot of crap, and then he realized he wasn't going to pull it off.
And as the show goes off the air, Punk's on the ropes and facing the entrance ramp, and Breaker's sitting on the ground in the entrance ramp,
pulling the classic Johnson.
I don't know if it's to that level, but yeah, I guess similar vibes.
My career's over.
I thought that they were going to...
The Cody Rhodes WrestleMania set.
I thought they were going to give the title to Breaker. I guess this...
Yeah, but that match told me he wasn't ready.
He's not ready? Okay.
Well, I didn't think so. He had 3 botches in that match.
Yeah, he missed
that Frankenstein was rough.
Where he leaned on his head. Yeah, that was...
And I'm not putting it all on Breaker. Punk's so many steps behind now that it's hard for him to...
Well, I have seen there's a lot of Punk fans out there that are calling this era of Punk the gunslinger era, because he's kind of like old washed up Brett Favre at the end of his career, where he's just slinging the ball around the field.
He doesn't have any of his skills anymore. I mean, Punk's whole game was he was pretty athletic. I mean, he wasn't the best wrestler. I mean, he always said he's
the best in the world.
But he was more... He fit in that athletic style. He had kind of that martial arts kind of style, and then he had the athleticism. And he doesn't have the athleticism anymore. So some of those moves he tries to do, just, man, they look rough.
Yeah, that Frankensteiner was pretty rough.
That match reminded me of AEW Punk. He just a step behind.
He did look pretty old when he was in AEW, which is weird.
Yeah, because he came back, and he did not come back in the best shape for that. He came back prepared for WWE.
Yeah.
He is not prepared for AEW. He came in thinking it was just going to be a glory, celebrate Punk, walk around the thing, and it did not turn out.
But since Punk retains the title, does that mean that come Friday, title change happening?
Could be. I'd like to see it. Drew needs a win.
Yeah, Drew.
I mean, how are we ever going to take him?
Yeah, you can't have Drew as a credible heel if he loses to Cody this time.
Nah, I mean he'll be in the same category as Owens. If Owens gets a title match ever, do you ever think he's gonna win? No, he loses them so many times. I think he went 5 straight Rumbles where he was in the title match and lost. He must have a thing in his contract where he can't wrestle in the Royal Rumble.
Well,
I swear.
That was also the Roman era, so
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Why keep putting Owens there? Put someone else.
Because you got to have somebody that's credible, but also is going to lose.
Well, you got to build up your other stars. Then that's what I say. You keep putting Drew in these situations.
Speaking of building up stars, I did see on NXT Obafemi beats Leon Slater for the keeps the NXT title, but at the end vacates it in a pretty sick way. Like what they did was Oba does his signature pose in the ring, and the lights go down and the spotlight's on him and everything. And then the camera goes, or the feed goes to backstage with Ava, and she's talking to all the Evolve wrestlers or whatever. And she's saying all this stuff about how there's all these guys left. Trick Williams got called up. Javon Evans got called up. All these guys got called up. And she's saying that there's spots open now for you guys to make your name known. And then Rob Stone comes in, which I had forgotten he was even on the show. He comes in.
Everyone does.
And he says, Ava, did you see what Oba just did? And then it kind of just the camera cuts to back in the ring and just on the title in the ring. And so I thought that was a pretty cool way to vacate the title. I feel like it's weird that they just didn't have Leon win. I mean,
But I mean, I like Leon, but are we really thinking Leon's beating Oba?
no, but I mean, it would have been an insane moment. Like Leon
Mm,
holds both the NXT title and the X Division title at
I
the
think
same
the
time, and he beats Oba.
I think the moment's fine.
I thought it was a good moment. It was cool the way that they'd never done something like that before.
Well, they that Oba's only the second person that's ever vacated a title to go to the main roster.
Yeah, it was Asuka that did the first,
Oscar did that.
but she was undefeated.
So
Oba's actually been beat before.
yeah. So, but from what I've seen, they're wanting to build up Oba as a
Oh
monster,
yeah,
and
I mean he stood toe to toe with Cody, so
so I mean having Slater beat him right before he goes up to the main roster doesn't really help
yeah. I
that
mean that would be weird, but
idea.
it felt a little the way that they did it felt a little strange. He just like
Yeah.
he doesn't say anything. He just walks out with the leaves the title on the ground.
Huh?
And then
He's done with it.
I guess I'm burying the actual lead, which is Tony D'Angelo was in the crowd staring at the title.
Yeah, he's probably the next one to get that spot.
I would guess they're
They're
probably going to do some sort of
they
uh,
have no main event picture
they're
anymore.
probably going to do some sort of match. I would think Miles Bourne would be involved in it at some point.
Yeah, I mean most of the guys have been fighting for the title for the last year are gone now.
Yeah, I know Javon and Trick are now up, and Ethan Page
So
is got the North American title, so he can't.
about the only main eventer you got left besides like you said, Ethan Page is Saints.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I forgot about Ricky. That's right. He'll probably be in it then.
He'll probably be the one that they'd carry with them. But
And he's a heel now, so who knows
mhm.
what he's coming back as.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see which way they if they try to get on a new guy or if they have Saints hold it. So, but yeah, I'm curious to see how these. There's a lot of big time people moved up to the main roster now in this new year.
Yeah, I'm excited. A lot of the guys that
We
I've
got
really liked watching in NXT now are coming up to the main roster.
we got Trick. He's on SmackDown, right?
Yep, he debuted on SmackDown. He's gonna
And
have his debut match next week or this week.
Jordan Grace went up to SmackDown.
Yep.
And I think who Evans is on
Yeah,
Raw. Javon
they signed
Evans.
him during the commercial break.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Let's build a star. Sign him on a commercial break. Well, on a show that's on Netflix, mind you.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
it was a little weird, but it's weird because the international audience doesn't get ads, I don't think, so they can see different things that we don't see in America.
That's cool.
I don't think they get. I think they get like
You know
when
what else the international audience gets? The network and it ticks
that's
me
true.
off.
But I think the international fans get on Netflix, they get like, those interviews that like Jackie and Kathy do out in the crowd with like, they have like
Yeah,
this weird like stage area that they do out in the crowd.
yeah.
I think
They
that's what
do
they see.
it's like the live event stuff
Yeah.
that
I think the
they're trying to
international
keep
crowd
the
sees that
track.
feed and we just see the ads.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I do like a Trick looked like a star when he debuted against, when he came out for Sammy, interrupting Sammy. And I'm glad that the crowd was in on the thing of saying whoop that Trick with his music
Hmm.
because I was a little bit worried when I knew that the NXT crowd obviously knew how to do it and they were good at it, but I was worried when he got called to the main roster if the crowds would play along with it, and I'm glad that they did.
Yeah, you never know how that's gonna go.
Yeah. And now
They
that
got Trick up, Oba's coming
yeah,
up.
and I'm hoping that because the NXT crowd recently since Oba came back, they've been starting to do the Oba, oh, like the Goldberg chants, but they've been
Hmm.
doing it for Oba, and I'm hoping that continue because they kind of did it when he fought Cody at Saturday's main event. I'm hoping that continues because that's really cool. I like that.
Hmm.
And they already
Yeah,
do
we'll
the
have to see.
with his music, so hopefully that continues.
That's what we need, more crowd involvement.
Well, I like the crowd involvement on the entrances just makes them even cooler. Like
You
when they sing
suck.
Randy's song. I've been singing Randy's song for 20 years, not 20 years. I've been singing Randy's song for years, and I'm glad that people are finally singing it now.
Wait till they sing Jericho's song when he comes back.
That'd be pretty sick. You were a little upset that the Masked Man was revealed to be Austin Theory, not Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I mean Austin Theory just doesn't do anything for me. I'm happy for him. He gets to be in the Vision now, so that's something.
Now, I did
But
hear a rumor that Chris Jericho was never even slated to be on Raw on the Netflix anniversary show.
no, I didn't expect him. They weren't going to waste him on the
But
Raw. I didn't think.
all the fans kept building it up like he was going to debut or return, and
Yeah, that's what the fans
then
do.
they
I
got
don't know why
disappointed
they
when he
do
wasn't
that.
there.
Yeah, it's like not once did they say like. I get being disappointed if they would have came out and said Jericho's going to be there and Raw and then he doesn't show up. But all these fans make up these ideas in their head of all this stuff that's going to be happening, and then it doesn't happen, and then they hate the show for that. And it's like, well, that no one said that was going to happen.
But you
You
gotta
got
you gotta
yourself
put a little bit
excited
of the
for it.
blame on WWE because they heavily leaned into it. I mean,
But that's fine. That's what they're
I
supposed to
know
do.
there
They're
was
trying to get as many people to
multiple
watch as possible.
references. Cole and Graves were calling
Uh-huh.
references to Jericho with moves, and wrestlers were pulling out walls of Jericho and stuff. And Liv Morgan even did a code breaker.
But it's like, I get that, but then it's also like, if they could be teasing it. That doesn't mean he's going to show up on that
I
Raw.
know, but the fans
He
they
can
thought
still
he was
come
gonna
at the
show up, and
Rumble.
then they got sad.
So, I don't know why we have to be so weird about that kind of stuff.
But then
I don't
there was
understand.
some rumors that Chris Jericho was gonna show up on AEW again.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that he still has a contract there, so who knows?
That would be pretty crazy if he just shows up
Uh,
and
to be fair, though, that same thing kind of happened with Cody, where he got heavily teased that he was coming to WWE, and then they got so heavy that he was going to WWE that it kind of reverted back to now he's actually going to AEW, staying in
yeah, I
AEW,
remember that.
and then he showed up at WrestleMania. So I
Pretty
mean,
awesome.
who knows what's going to happen really? So,
Speaking of showing up, Andrade debuted for the third
mm,
time in AEW.
gosh, guy just keeps showing up. He went over to New Japan. He's over there too. So
Andrade
good
is
for
an
him.
interesting case because he's such a good talent, but
Yeah.
he doesn't ever click with the crowd. It doesn't seem like.
No, he seems like he should have that charisma. That character's pretty cool that he
Yeah,
has, but it just doesn't seem to translate into a main event
I don't
picture
know if
for him.
it's because he doesn't feel confident in his English speaking because I feel like that's what Vince didn't like about him.
Yeah,
That's why he kind of
it's
kept him
hard
with
to tell.
Zelina.
It's hard to tell. I mean, I wouldn't see why it'd be a problem in Japan then.
I know, yeah, yeah.
So, and AEW doesn't
But
care.
he had some falling out with the locker room, I think, in AEW the first time.
Yeah, well, they had a lot of problems in AEW. There was a lot. He was there when there was a lot of tension. They seem to have turned the corner on that.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Those couple years Punk was there was a lot of tension back there with different people. And I'm not blaming it on Punk either. I hate the guy, but I'm not blaming him for all that tension. The other people there
No,
caused
we've
the
talked
tension
about Tony
too.
Khan and how he's
Hmm.
not really the best
Yeah, I
suited
mean
for it.
he's a fanboy with a lot of money, so he didn't live and die in this business forever, you know.
Although
So
Triple H did, and look what he's doing.
yeah, and I'm not saying Tony Khan's doing anything wrong. He's doing fine. His AEW's doing good. That last pay per view, World's End, was a pretty good pay per view. So they're going in a pretty good direction this year with everything. It's just a matter of I don't know. He sometimes I don't think he kind of just over fanboys things. It's like
Hmm.
just chill a little, and you don't have to make every single thing the best. Like it's okay to have mid things on your show. You don't have to go full on crazy every single match, every single time. Every pay per view has to be 7 hours long.
The pay-per-views are pretty
Like,
long.
just take it down a notch. But that's what happens when he's a fancy booking. It's like playing with action figures.
Hmm.
That's what he gets to do every day. So I don't blame him. I'd be going hardcore too on it. So, but yeah. And then we had the Ace retire,
Oh yeah, that was
Tanahashi.
pretty crazy moment.
Yeah, no, talk about true legends. And the way the fans reacted to him compared to how the Cena thing went, just
Those are though you can't
just
compare those two.
just night and day. Oh, what do you mean you can't compare those two?
It's totally different environments. The Japanese crowd is such a
That's what I'm
different
saying.
environment than.
Japanese crowd is an actual respectful wrestling crowd, and then you got the WWE universe, which is a bunch of psychopaths who take matters in their own hands and ruin shows for no reason.
You're still not over them booing Triple H.
No, it ticks me off. The Japanese fan Tanahashi lost, and some would argue Tanahashi's a bigger star over there than Cena is over here.
Probably.
I mean, he basically runs that company now. He can make himself win if he wanted to.
I did
But
I didn't get to see the full match, but I saw the highlights, and it's probably a good thing that Tanahashi was retiring, though. No disrespect to
yeah,
the legend,
that's
but he was moving at a grandpa pace.
yeah, and I mean he's been doing that for years now.
Okada had to slow
But
down for him.
yeah, and I mean Okada's no spring chicken
No,
either,
no,
really.
no, but he's still
So,
toward in his prime, maybe towards the end of it, but in his prime.
so, but it was a good match.
Yeah, yeah,
It was what
a good match.
it's when you're watching a retirement match in wrestling. I'm not expecting to watch a 5-star classic.
I wonder what Dave Meltzer gave
Oh, I already saw his talking about it. He acted like it was the greatest thing he's ever seen in his
it.
life.
That's on brand.
Fine, Meltzer is such a New Japan stan for some
That is
reason.
true.
I get it. New Japan's great. They have great wrestling. They were in their prime about 10 years ago. They're doing good now. They have a bunch of good stuff going on, but he acts like every single match, especially when it's like Tanahashi or Okada,
Or
or
Omega.
back in the day it was Nakamura Omega. He acted like every single thing they
Seven
did
stars.
was the greatest match ever. It's like, I mean, I get it. They're good matches, but like, I don't know if I would say Omega has the best matches I've ever seen. But that's just not the style I'm into as much. I'm more like a Kurt Angle. Like I think Kurt Angle's had the best matches I've ever seen. If we're talking straight, like real, not real, but if I'm talking about the best wrestler, I'm probably going Kurt Angle,
That's
in
interesting.
my opinion. If I'm going best performer, I'm probably going Shawn Michaels. But if I'm going straight up wrestler, like if I'm just going into this match and I have to watch a match and I'm picking someone to watch that person's match, I'm picking Kurt Angle against whoever. It could be. It doesn't matter who it is.
Me.
I really, he'd throw you around like it was nothing. So, I mean, I don't think I remember seeing a bad Kurt Angle match.
Speaking of great performers and storytellers and stuff like that, the Bullet Club has officially ended, at least in New
Bull
Japan. I
Club.
think I think Jay White still keeps it around in AEW a little bit, but
Yeah, that's
because he's
fine.
got the
They're like
guns and
Bull
he's
Club
got
Gold
Juice
or
with him.
something.
So
Well, there's so many
yeah,
subcategories
but
of
the
Bullet Club
official like New
nowadays.
Japan Bullet Club is dead.
Yeah, they kind of stopped. They broke up and joined other groups, and
Well, they were
which
the
is
War
something New
Dogs,
Japan.
weren't they? And then
Yeah,
uh, Suji killed him, I think.
yeah. They went to. I forget what they call themselves now, but yeah, no, that's
It made me
probably
sad.
the
I'm a
longest
big
running faction.
Bullet Club guy.
That's probably the longest run faction in wrestling history. I can't
I would
remember
think so.
faction. Continuous
Judgment Day.
run. I mean, they might get there. God. I
But
mean, now it's just Finn walking around with a bunch of girls. So
well, JD
Finn's
keeps getting
enjoying
hurt,
it.
so
Finn's happy with his life.
but it is a sad day when the Bullet Club officially is over because man,
Hmm.
that when I first found out about the Bullet Club, I was all in. That
Hmm.
was some good stuff.
Well, and just the different iterations of the
Yeah,
Bullet
I mean
Club
all the
were
different
so
leaders they
cool.
had with
You
Finn
start with
creating it,
Finn,
and then you go
and
to AJ,
hmm
and then Kenny kicks AJ out when AJ goes to
hmm
WWE, and then you get Cody in there,
hmm
and then Cody and Kenny fight for the leadership,
yep, the Civil War,
and then
which turned into the double Civil War because once Omega and Cody kind of got back together, then they turned into the
the
Elite,
Elite, yeah, with the
and
Bucks,
then the other Bullet Club with Tamatonga and his brother, what's his name?
Tongaloa.
Loa, Tonga Loa, the Gorillas of Destiny. They kicked them. I mean, they didn't kick them out. The Elite technically were still the Bullet
Yeah.
Club, but he basically he took over the Bullet Club of
Hmm.
Japan. and the Elite kind of went and did the Ring of
Because
Honor
that
thing,
was
and then
that
started
was starting when they were starting to make
AEW.
their way into North America to get to
Yeah,
AEW.
because they started doing the Ring of Honor stuff where Cody won the world
But then
title.
Jay White comes in and becomes the leader.
Yep. Then Jay White takes over. He joins the Bullet
And
Club.
that Jay White era is a good era, but at that point I was already
Yeah.
kind of stopped following a little bit. I was
Yeah.
really in
Well,
on the
that the
AJ
era of
stuff,
Omega
the Omega
and
stuff.
the
Yeah,
Bucks.
that was the era I was watching.
Mm-hmm. Well, and AJ just had so many good matches
Yeah, I
in
mean,
his time there.
the people when everybody found out on Twitter that the Bullet Club was over, they kept posting the picture of AJ with the IWGP title and he's standing in front of Mount
Mm-hmm.
Fuji. That's such
Mm-hmm.
an amazing picture.
Yeah. He had the great match with Tanahashi. He had the match with Okada. He had that one match. He had the Wrestle Kingdom match with Nakamura. I mean, he hit all the main pillars in that year run, a
Mhm.
little over a year run.
What a crazy ride for
So,
AJ. He leaves TNA and then he
hmm
goes on this wild spree of just having amazing matches in different companies and then in New
oh
Japan.
yeah,
Like,
that's if we're talking about quality of matches for AJ, that was probably that little run there in New Japan was probably his best quality matches.
and why does he
He
leaves
was
TNA
on
because he
fire.
doesn't like Dixie? That's right.
No, they told him they wanted to give him a pay cut, and he'd been there forever. He should be
He
getting the
doesn't he come out,
raise.
he wins the title and then he comes out, he
Yeah,
returns when Magnus
well,
has the title, right?
because he that whole thing, that whole end of AJ's run in TNA is just such a
Because he
bizarre
started going dark.
turn.
He wore the darker gear and
Well,
stuff.
but what happened is that had the they had the storyline with Claire Lynch, the infamous Claire Lynch storyline. You remember this
I think so.
with the bad influence?
Oh right, yeah.
They had broken up Fortune and all that stuff,
Fortune 4.
and Kazarian and Daniels stayed with by themselves with bad
Yep.
influence. AJ, they had the great feud in 2012 with Kurt Angle teamed with AJ, and they had great
hmm
matches with Bad Influence. And then that Bad Influence starts the storyline where they found out something about AJ. He's not, the good guy they
He's
all
not the good
thought.
Christian boy.
And so the storyline with Claire Lynch was that he had got her pregnant or
That's
had an
right.
affair with
Yeah.
her, and then she was pregnant. And then the actress was so bad, which rest in peace. I'm pretty sure she's passed
Oh
away
no.
now. I've heard that before, and she was just not believable. So they canned it after the one time she showed up, and then it turned into he was having an affair with Dixie Carter storyline.
hmm
And so then he has the match. I think it's a triple threat. I think it's him, and it could be. I think it's Rude and Storm. Is I think who's in this triple threat, and the stipulation is that is the TNA like the number one contender, but if the one who gets pinned can't fight for the title for a year,
Yeah.
and AJ loses,
Whoa.
and he goes on this downtrodden like he can't fight for the world title anymore, and then he does a couple things with Daniels and Kazarian, and then he ends up leaving. So this is when all the Ace and Nate stuff start happening,
Mm.
and they start doing that storyline. And so AJ had left
Okay.
for when that happened, and so they do the whole bully reveal
Yeah.
when he takes out Jeff Hardy,
My favorite era of Bully.
and then he takes out Sting at Slammiversary, and they start the Bound for Glory series, and they basically, and remember this is still Hogan and Bischoff and that group. They basically look at this and say, what was one of our most successful angles? And it was NWO versus Sting.
Oh, right, right.
And so they said, let's do that again. And this time we're going to use AJ because what made Sting work was that he was the heart and soul of WCW.
Yeah, and AJ's the heart and soul of TNA.
And NWO was trying to take out WCW.
hmm
So have the heart and soul who had lost faith. That's why he goes dark.
True, true.
in WCW, and then he comes back to take out the cancer that's in WCW.
Makes
the
sense.
NWO.
It worked once.
So now they're going to do that with AJ. So he starts growing out the hair. He starts wearing the biker jacket, the jeans,
the gloves,
gets the beard, all that. The look he has now,
yes,
basically,
just shorter hair.
This is how it started. And so he returns with that, and he comes out, and he they had just started to reform the main event Mafia to take on the Ace of Names. So it was Angle, Sting, Joe, and Magnus were in the new Mafia. And so AJ comes out and takes out the Ace and Eights, but then doesn't join the Mafia. So he comes out and then he becomes no one.
Ooh.
That was his thing. Instead of the Phenomenal One, he was
that's
no
right.
one.
I remember that, yeah.
He wasn't on Mafia, he wasn't on Ace and Eights. So he goes on, he wins the BFG series. He gets the match at Battle for Glory against Bully Ray and wins the match. So then the lead up to Battle for Glory, he started feuding with Dixie Carter, who said he wasn't worth anything and that he could never be the world champion.
Yeah.
And all this stuff.
Like
he wasn't worth, he wasn't worth what they were paying him, all that stuff. So then the next night on Impact, after he wins, she comes out and she starts saying, "Oh, you're amazing. I'm so proud of you, blah, blah, blah." Obviously he doesn't believe her. He rips up the contract.
Nice.
He has a match, so she makes a match with Bully for the rematch. He beats Bully, and then he leaves. She tries to give him a car, and he takes the car, leaves with the guy, and the iconic image of him holding up the TNA title, driving the car away. So he leaves. So then Dixie, ticked off, strips him, quote unquote, and they're going to have a new TNA World Champion. They have a tournament with all the guys that were former world champions, and then they had a battle royal that Magnus ended up winning to be the final entrant. And so they have this whole tournament.
They had to figure out a way to get Magnus in so they could win.
Yeah. They basically picked all the old world champions, and then Magnus got in the tournament. So they have the whole tournament for the thing. Magnus ends up winning in one of the worst matches ever. And he beats Jeff Hardy in the Dixieland match, which was the stupidest match I've ever watched.
Is that where you have to take the ladder to the stage?
It was on stage, and then you had to climb the ladder because the title was hanging up on the stage.
I remember that.
It made no sense. It was stupid. It was just Dixie, another Dixie thing that didn't make any sense. She became one of the most hated figures of wrestling during this whole time.
I forgot about that. That's crazy.
Horrible match, but Magnus ends up winning, and then the next week he has this big celebration.
Yeah, I just
and
saw a
AJ
video
crashes
about that.
it. Yeah, because it just was, it was in January that happened.
Nice.
So it was like this day in wrestling, which talking about it. And AJ comes back and breaks up the celebration, and that leads to a unification match for the two titles, which ends up being AJ's last match in TNA.
And then he goes on this crazy run in New
So then he has that match with Magnus, and then he goes, and then I think it's like 3 months later, he does the big, maybe even 2 months. It's real quick after that. He goes to New Japan and takes out Okada when he debuts. And then he has a match with Okada to win the title.
Crazy.
And then
just beating Okada
was in his prime.
I was gonna say just beating Okada at that time.
The Rainmaker. Which then they had the whole storyline for that was AJ told him he wasn't the real Rainmaker. He was the young boy. Because Okada back in I can't remember what year that was, but he was in TNA with Joe. And he did that he was a Green Hornet character.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. That was his character, and he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He wrestled in explosion matches.
I remember that. Yeah. The Green
he literally was on TV for 2 weeks, 3 weeks or something like that.
That was during our prime watching TNA. I remember that.
And so the whole storyline was AJ called him a young boy because he's not on AJ's level.
Hmm.
He never was.
Whoa.
So then he ends up beating him, and then they have the whole that rivalry, and then he ends up. I think he loses it. Does he lose? I think he loses it to Tanahashi,
Nice.
or he loses it to Okada. I can't remember who he
And
loses
when
the
does he
title
when
back
does he
to.
join the club?
He joins the club the night
Oh,
he
the night he
debuts.
debuts.
Yeah, because they kick Finn out earlier that night
Oh, okay.
because Finn's fighting his old tag team partner from Apollo 55,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they having a loser leaves New Japan.
And because Finn had already signed the contract with WWE.
Yeah, yeah, and so he loses the match. The Young Bucks betrayed him
Okay, okay.
because he wanted to fight. He wanted to win the match by himself,
Hmm.
and the Young Bucks kept
Yeah.
interfering. And so he kept yelling at him, and then they double super kick him, and then he loses the match, and then he's gone, and Bullet Club takes him out.
Nice.
But then the main event, after the main event, is when AJ
Oh,
debuts.
okay, okay.
So then he becomes the new leader of the Bullet Club.
And
So
then we eventually get to Cody. And
well, then he does the year long thing, and then they bring in Omega into the Bullet Club as a cleaner, and he's fighting in the junior division. But then after Wrestle Kingdom is when he betrays AJ, and AJ gets
yeah,
kicked
there's a
out.
pretty iconic picture of the rest of the club standing around Omega as he holds AJ's hair, and
Yeah.
he's got
So
the
then
gun up.
Omega becomes the leader, and he starts going up into the heavyweight picture, and then he does that, and then they start bringing in. They kind of start bringing in some other guys. Cody eventually comes in, and Cody's doing his psycho character,
His jerk
where he
character.
just he's just man, I hate his independent run. Is just he's a horror. It's his character's so horrible, which is on. I mean, it's on purpose, but I just never liked it.
I
And
like when
so
he
he
gives
goes
the
and
when he gives the girl Brandy Lauren or whatever her name is, gives her like $20.
yeah, yeah.
This is
Cody.
like 20 more they were gonna pay you or whatever he said. Or he gives her $40 and says,
Yeah, he's just a menace.
"Hmm."
And so Cody starts a civil war with Omega, and all that crap keeps happening. He tries to cost Omega the title, and then they fight, and then Omega ends up winning. He tries to get the respect, but then they get taken out by the Guerrillas of Destiny, and that side of the Bullet Club. And then Jay White joins, and he kind of starts taking over. And then they started trying to move New Japan into the U.S., and Jay White took some of the guys, and he went over to the New Japan, the Strong brand
Mhm.
they had, and I think they were called Bullet Club Gold or something like
Yeah,
that.
that sounds right.
And so then they had the Bullet Club
Because I think they
stayed
carry that
in,
over to AEW.
yeah, and then they brought it in, but then like the Elite were part of the Bullet Club. I mean, the Elite's basically just a subversion of the
Yeah,
Bullet Club,
yeah.
and then all that kind of stuff. So
But then Cody comes
well,
back to the WWE, and
yeah,
now he is wrestling Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship on SmackDown.
hopefully loses.
Yeah, he's got to.
So you say that, and then he's gonna win, and you're gonna be like, well, what are we gonna do
I don't see any world or any. I don't see any reason why we can't have a quick Drew McIntyre title reign to what's the word I'm looking for to legitimize Drew's character and all the stuff he's been doing
now?
the
Okay, but
past
when are you
few
gonna have
months,
him lose?
and then you have him drop it at Rumble or Chamber on the road to WrestleMania sometime. Doesn't on a SmackDown. Doesn't have to
Okay,
be a pay
but
per view.
here's my counter to that.
It doesn't even have to be Cody that wins it. I guess
Okay, who's gonna main event WrestleMania?
Oba.
Stop it.
Send him to the moon. Send
Who
him
are
to
you gonna
Mars.
have? Who are you gonna have as your WWE champion going into Mania? It's more than likely gonna. It's not gonna be Drew.
No.
But even if he does win on SmackDown, Cody's got to win it back from him.
Yeah.
But so how are you gonna do that?
There's a couple
They're
ways you
already
could do
doing
it.
a 3 stages
You
match.
could do
What
Cody
match
wins a
can they
third
do
a
after
third
that?
Rumble, and
Ew, stop.
then he
Don't
has to
ever say that
build his
again.
way to fight Drew.
Don't say that
You
ever
could
again.
have Cody beat Drew at some point, whether it's Rumble, Chamber, whatever, and then you have Randy win the Rumble, and then you have Randy Cody. Or you do Sammy wins the Rumble,
Ugh,
and
stop
then
it.
because the Rumble is going to be in Saudi, so you have Sammy win the Rumble, and then he goes on this underdog journey of I've got to do it. This is my only chance. This is my best chance. I've got to win the championship. I've never won it, and then he faces Cody in like a good guy versus a good guy, but it's Sammy's his one chance.
I hate all those options.
Or you just have Cody beat
I
Drew and he holds it
I'm
for
just saying, what match are you doing that Cody beats Drew again? That's the problem.
probably Chamber. If you're
I
already
mean,
doing three
that'd probably be your
stages,
only option. But then it's like, oh,
then you don't have to have Drew get pinned by Cody.
he's got to get pinned.
Well, yeah, he's got to get pinned by
So,
somebody, but
so who's going to pin him? Who's he going to fight at WrestleMania? That's the question.
Priest.
He did that
I
last
know he
year.
did.
They don't have enough main eventers to even make it make sense.
But there's,
I mean, name me another face that Drew could face at WrestleMania
if we,
right now.
I don't, uh,
Uh huh. Uh
who's,
huh. LA Knight,
he's on
maybe.
Raw, I think.
I,
And I think he's
it
hurt.
doesn't matter at WrestleMania. Once you get to WrestleMania,
But it's just like how do we go from it's the same problem I had with Solo when Solo kept talking about I'm the tribal chief and then he loses to Roman. Now we don't
yeah,
take
people
Solo
do that all
seriously.
the time. That's what I'm saying.
I don't want
That's
to
how you. That's how you kill
but I
characters.
don't want Drew's character to get killed.
I'm not saying you want it to happen. I'm just saying it will. WWE always kills characters. I never understand why they do that. Like, uh, how hard did they kill Ryback's character?
That's
They
a
murdered it.
but that's
I'm
probably
just
for
saying.
different reasons than
We just talked about Kevin Owens. I mean, I don't believe he could ever win a world title again.
I think if they did the right type of build, I think I could get there.
Nope, I couldn't. I'm never going to think he's going to win. I've seen him lose so many times.
Well, then him
I'm
winning
not.
would be a shock to you.
But they're not going to do it. Is what I'm saying. I would never go into a match believing Kevin Owens is going to win that match anymore for a world title. I mean, you who are the guys on the roster that can win the world title right now? There's five
I
guys,
gotta think of the
maybe.
roster.
You got a part timer Roman.
You got
You
Orton.
got Cody. You got Punk as the champs.
Oh, we're talking
You
Raw
got
and SmackDown.
we're talking anybody on the roster that can win a world title.
Okay, okay.
So you got those two are the champions. You got Roman, who's a part timer. You got Orton, McIntyre, maybe Braun. I didn't
Yeah,
really think he was going to
probably.
win, but they're kind of putting him in that spot.
What about Bronson? I mean, he has a pin over Roman
I wouldn't. I wouldn't think. I wouldn't put Bronson in that place yet. He's not there yet as a character. Maybe Logan Paul.
Ew.
Yeah,
What
but I mean,
about
who else is there? Seth's hurt.
yeah, Seth's out.
You don't have
What about
Seth.
Sammy?
You
Like we just
got
talked
you
about
got old guys. I mean, Sammy, but you'd really have to build that up. He hasn't even been on TV forever.
until just last SmackDown.
I mean, the last time I saw him, besides his last SmackDown, was at the Cena thing. He's sitting in the crowd like he's retired. And now you're gonna sell me that he's gonna be a world champion?
I guess you had
You
Jay
got
before he joined
you
back up with
got
Jimmy.
Jay, but he's back in the tag team because it didn't work.
He's tag
You
team champs.
got
That's good.
AJ,
But he's
but
got Gunther,
I mean, it doesn't matter who he's got. AJ could win the world title right
and so could
now,
Gunther. I guess I
but
forgot
he's
about
also
Gunther.
at the end of his career. Gunther's on that stage where he can win it, but like after that, who's left?
LA Knight,
That's
kind
not
of.
that's not even a handful. That's not even 10 people, and most of them are either injured or part timers.
Well, I guess we're hoping that they hit the mark on Javon and Trick and Oba, and they hit the mark on uh, building up possibly Penta. Penta could be a world champion at some point if they build him the right way. Dom, obviously.
Nothing they've done with Penta screams they're
I
going to
know, but
build him
I
as a
want
world
them. I love
champion.
Penta.
Where's Phoenix?
He's teaming with. Oh no, he's not team. He's the one who's fighting Trick Williams' first match.
You had Phoenix. He could be a world champion if they build him right. I mean, you have Trick now. You got Oba.
Yeah,
But
they need to do the right build with those guys. And you got Ilya too. I forgot about Ilya.
the only young guy we mentioned in that first group was Braun. Everybody else is like over 35 years old. Like seriously. Like
Well, there's that whole stat that people keep bringing up where the last guy to win the WWE Championship who was in their 20s was Bray.
yeah, it's insane. And who beat him?
Randy
50
Orton.
some year old Goldberg.
Oh, I was talking actual back in 2017.
Oh, that one.
That one,
That
not
run.
Fiend. Right.
Yes. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, Orton beat him at WrestleMania. He had the title for
A
a month.
month. What a weird flip flop. They went from AJ to Cena to Bray to Orton in like a 3 month
Yeah.
span.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, does it? You think Cena ties the record, you would make him hold it to WrestleMania at least. Nope.
Well,
I
you
forget
think
even
that if Bray beats
what
him
did
in
he
the
do at that
chamber,
WrestleMania?
that was such
Oh
a
yeah, he did the Nikki Bella match.
yeah. That was such an insane moment when Bray wins the title at the chamber. I was like, oh, this is the time they're gonna make him a star.
Yeah,
And
and
they
then they had one of the weirdest
yeah,
WrestleMania
with like
matches
the
I've ever
maggots on
seen.
the ring or whatever.
I was there in person. I didn't know what was happening.
I don't
And then
understand
they had
what
Orton
the
beat him.
thought process was with Bray. Did they not think he was a guy like a main event guy?
No, obviously not.
But why? He could cut a promo. He had the wrestling skill. He had the character. He had everything you need to be a main event guy. Why did they make him a main event guy?
Because they looked at him like the Undertaker, and
Undertaker
they
was a main event
looked.
guy.
Listen, I'm not done. I'm not done. They looked at him as a character and not a wrestler. So when you get a guy who's a character, you're not putting a character as a champion. A character is used as a guy that gets beat for the titles.
Well, then
A
they
char- the Undertaker won a few championships. But if you look back on the Undertaker, besides his last like couple year run there when he won the world title over WrestleMania, like he had the title 3 times before that, and like in his prime, he has a short run in like 2002. He has the one short run in like '99 or whatever year that was, '97, whatever year that is. I mean, they don't give him the time because he didn't need it.
yeah.
His character didn't need it. Bray's character didn't really need it, but it would have made like they didn't do it. They should have done it once for a good run. Then he doesn't need it again.
But then they booked
But they
themselves
didn't
into
put him
a
in that
they kind of
spot.
booked themselves into a corner with the Fiend because they made the Fiend this like mythical, unbeatable figure. And then if they would have put
Mm-hmm.
the title on him, how you can't have him lose. So how could he
Well,
lose the title?
they can make it a match make no sense, like the cell match.
Oh, the red lighting or whatever.
That made no sense.
The worst part, I
That
don't think it would have been as bad if the cage wasn't also red.
it doesn't matter about that. It's the fact that they ended that match on a no contest
Yeah, in a cell.
because he got
He hit him
the
with that big hammer thing,
sledgehammer.
right?
He got the sledgehammer out, and they said, "Whoa, too much.
That was
This
weird.
match is
Yeah.
over." He hit him with 11 stomps.
Concussions.
11.
His brain's mashed potatoes now.
But he brings a sledgehammer out, and they're
That's
nope.
too far. That's the
It's like
game.
whatever.
You can't do that.
And just like what 13 years prior to that, Triple H is bashing a sledgehammer over Vince's head inside the cell,
Yeah, that was
and
definitely a
that
weird
match was a
choice.
pin. It made no sense because they didn't want to give him the title,
Yeah, but they had to figure
but
out a
they
way.
but they couldn't have him get pinned,
Yeah.
and so they just say, "Well, just do this. We can do
I
that,
guess
right?"
they could have like sent him through the ring. That would have been kind of
Yeah,
cool.
it just didn't make any sense. It's stupid. Just stupid
Yeah, but
decisions.
I
Stupid
always
people.
I do hold a little resentment towards them for how they booked Bray in both his first run and then his Fiend run.
Yeah. Yeah, they do that with a lot of guys. That's why. That's why everyone's like, "Oh man, once Oba gets up here, it's gonna
He's
be
got to. You can't miss on
crazy."
Oba.
like, oh yeah, that's what I remember them saying that about Shinsuke. Look what happened to him. I remember them talking about Ciampa like that. I remember them saying Gargano once he got to the main roster was going to be a game changer.
Ciampa's a weird one because he's a Triple H guy. He's one of the
I
biggest Triple H guys, and yet Triple H never really made him a star. He had everything he
remember,
needed. He had the heel. The Blackheart's one of the best heel characters in recent memory.
yeah, and they just didn't pull the
I mean,
trigger
he
because
literally
he's
came out.
little.
He made his entrance at a takeover with no music and the crowd just booing him. Like, how do you get to that point and not capitalize on that?
Because he's little,
He is little.
and that's the problem. WWE is so worried about that for some reason. They can't handle it. NXT's fine because it's not real. It's not their
And
big
yet they give
product.
the title to AJ.
AJ, I mean, AJ is at least believable. And I'm not saying anything against Trump, but in their eyes, he's not a main eventer on the main roster. He's a main eventer in development because development was run more like the Indies.
Well, good news about Oba. Oba's got the size.
Okay,
It's a
you
lot
know
of
who else had the
it's a lot of
size?
meat.
Basket is glory. Well, look what happened to him.
Yeah, but we always bring up Keith Lee. That's a lot of weird stuff happened with Keith Lee.
No, nothing weird happened until after he left. They tried to make him the Bearcat.
I think that was a Vince thing.
What the heck is that even? So I don't know. Like, look at all those guys. Cross. Look at
Didn't you
Cross.
go back and you watched like that Survivor Series where they had the NXT match in there?
Yeah, they made Keith Lee look like the
Yeah, he had that
greatest
huge
wrestler
power
ever.
bomb on Roman. That was insane.
I mean, he lost the match, but at the end, he shakes hands with
Yeah, they
Roman. He
really
looks
they
like he's
really
going to
built up
be a
Keith Lee
main
on that night.
eventer for years. And then they do nothing with him. They bring him up, and they do nothing. He becomes a double champ in
That was
NXT.
an awesome moment too. I remember that match.
They had everything sitting there for a main event guy, and they just decided, nah,
Well, they've
let's
got to
not do
do it
that.
with Oba. This is Oba we're talking about.
Okay, well, you keep saying that, and then they keep screwing it up.
I don't know.
It's like they got to do it with this guy. They got to do it with that guy.
I've said before that Oba feels bulletproof, but
Okay, well, when he's laying at the bottom of a gutter, then don't come crying to me about it. That's all I'm saying.
dare I
I
say
mean,
Oba has reached Rhea Ripley status.
give me some NXT guys that went up and did something.
I can only give
You
you
have
Sammy and Kevin, I think,
Sammy and
and
Kevin,
maybe Finn if you count Finn a little bit.
Finn, but like even Finn is in the main event
And
picture.
Nakamura won a Rumble in main event, not main event, but he went to WrestleMania, so I guess he did a little bit.
But okay, but like in the case of all four of those guys, none of them were like homegrown
And
WWE
Joe did
guys.
a little bit.
Okay, but all those guys were guys before they came to NXT.
You know what a weird like
Who's
what
an NXT guy
you know
that did anything?
what a weird what if that I was thinking about? What if
What?
Bobby Roode doesn't have all the neck issues? I do believe Triple H would have pushed Bobby to the moon.
No, stop it.
I think he had the song, he had the
He
skill.
was wrestling in the United States Championship matches.
I think Bobby could have done it.
What was he gonna do?
Win the world title. Although that time it was Universal.
Before he got hurt, he was tagging with Dolph Ziggler, another guy
Dirty heel, right?
they
No,
hated.
were they dirty heel? No, that was him and
No,
Aries.
that's him and
Well,
Harry's.
they were
They were
dirty
like the
something.
dogs or something.
What? Yeah,
There
there
were
was
some kind of dogs.
yeah. Because that was when Ziggler had the bandana and he was doing weird
Yeah,
stuff.
they were teaming with McIntyre, or not McIntyre. They were teaming with Corbin.
Oh, right.
They were helping
Yeah.
Corbin. That's when they threw the dog food
Oh, not the dog food.
on Roman.
No, not the dog.
The
That's
big
right before
dog.
he leaves and becomes tribal
Hmm.
chief.
Yeah.
I think that's the last thing he does before pandemic stuff.
Well, he does that, and then he's supposed to go on and he ends the feud with Baron, and then he's supposed to have the match at WrestleMania with Goldberg,
Oh, right.
and then he ends up because of COVID saying he can't do it.
Yeah,
And
because
then
he had the
Braun
leukemia
has the
stuff.
match. Yeah, so then Braun beats Goldberg and wins the title,
Oh,
which
wonderful.
no one remembers. And then he loses to the Fiend, and then that's when Roman comes back
Epic.
and does the Tribal Chief gimmick.
I remember.
I remember.
I remember the and I've
Oh,
forgotten.
it sounds like you remember
Well, I had
it
it, but
so
then
well.
you threw me off with the I remember, and
I remember.
I was gonna talk about Braun.
What do I
Oh,
remember
I
again?
remember when he won in Saudi, he won that greatest Royal Rumble or whatever, and he had that
Uh-huh.
championship. He still got that title. Nobody else has won that thing.
2018.
He's the longest reigning.
Greatest Royal Rumble ever.
It was pretty
That's
great.
also the last time Chris Jericho wrestled in WWE.
It was pretty great.
Till now.
Dare I say it was the greatest?
I like how you say you remember something, forget,
Well, you threw me
and
off
then
with the I remember.
then
Because
you
I
say a
laughed at that,
stupid
so
joke to
I
end it.
forgot.
What a great anecdote to end it.
But I remember.
I think it's time to tap out.
I remember Braun Strowman. I remember him. Now he just eats food on USA
I'm
Network.
tapping onto this.
Well, what's your final prediction for Cody Drew?
I mean, I had to say Drew just because if the other way happens, then Drew's done. That makes me sad. So
Yeah, I gotta say Drew too.
but do I think do it? I'll tell you this. Do I think it's going to happen? No. But do I want it to happen? Yes. I'd say I'd probably 60-40 that Cody's going to win. But
Unfortunately,
do I
I
want
think I
Drew to
might be
win?
80-20 Cody wins.
Yeah. So Cody's going to do some crazy thing and win the match somehow, and then Drew's going to look like an idiot again. I mean, the guy's basically telling him his dad's down in the depths of everywhere. So
He's looking. I love because he says
peeing
it
on his
so.
tour
He
bus.
says it not so nonchalant that it takes the crowd a minute to realize that he said looking up instead of looking down.
He's peeing on Cody's tour bus,
Good stuff.
and then this is what he gets.
I keep forgetting that Cody has a second daughter.
He doesn't ever spend time with them, so
I gotta
he just
believe that.
keep popping out kids that way we keep Brandy away. She doesn't do her AEW promos anymore.
It's open mic night.
Who told you it was open mic night?
I do wish that they didn't start the stage with just a regular wrestling match.
Well, I mean that's how most of them start.
I know,
What
but
did you
like
want?
this is supposed to be like a grueling 3 levels type of match where you're
You
supposed to
gotta
like
start out slow.
whatever. Start out with like
What are the other two? One a cage, old school.
it's a false count anywhere, I think, and then cage.
You know they're gonna do something stupid with the cage, right?
Yeah.
Where it's gonna be like they're both climbing out, and then like Drew keeps punching him, and knocks it. Cody falls from the top to the
Oh, that'd be
floor,
so stupid.
and that's how he beats him.
Who do you think? So, how do you think it's gonna go? You think Drew's gonna get the first fall?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I
What's
thought
the
so.
second fall?
I think it's false count anywhere.
Yeah. They
And
could really shock you and do 2 straight falls.
no, they want to get all 3 in there. It's a
Nah,
3-hour show.
That's happened before though. Shock you.
It's a 3-hour show in Belgium. They're not gonna waste the steel cage.
Do the Kurt Angle gimmick where he beats Benoit and then kisses the medals that were in Benoit's pants. Classic.
The Belgium crowd's gonna go hot for McIntyre, that's for sure.
Well, how many times has he lost in the UK?
I think every time.
4, 5 now. So
The worst one was he lost in Scotland. How can you make him lose in Scotland?
he's going against Tribal Chief.
He's from there.
True. Every time Punk goes to Chicago, he wins for some reason.
Chicago loves Punk.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they say CM stands for. Chicago made.
No wonder he's such a loser. Coming out in that Michigan jacket. I just wanted to.
Well, he was just trolling Braun.
I don't care. Look like a dang fool. Old 50-year-old man walking out in a college
Is he 50?
jacket. I don't know. He seems 50 to me.
He might be late 40s. I don't think he's 50.
He might be 60 or 70. I don't know.
He's not
It's hard to
Undertaker.
tell. He's looking rough. That's all I'm saying.
He's got the hair.
He blows up quick.
Well, yeah, he blows up quick.
Get some conditioning. You're a world champion.
Okay, this isn't gonna turn into you just hating on Punk.
Don't they always turn into that?
This is gonna turn into me loving Gunther.
You know what you know what I was hoping I was going to hear on Raw?
What?
Burn it down.
He's hurt.
I don't care. Wobble out there.
It was
Take
not his
that
leg, it's his
title.
shoulder this time.
Well, he's still going to wobble.
Wobble, wobble,
Wobble
wobble,
out
wobble.
there. Pin Punk.
Is Theory doing the stop now as a finish?
Yeah. Some people say he's going to turn on the
Yeah,
Vision.
I've seen that.
Wrong
It's like because somebody they put Seth over Triple H's face when he said there's always a plan B.
Yeah. Like Seth set him in there.
I think that'd be very interesting if that happened.
Then you got Seth versus Braun.
I could see something where that could be pretty cool. Like you split the Vision, you get the Vision and the what would they call it? Maybe the Vision in the future.
Yeah. I'm glad you don't make faction names.
I've never been good with faction names.
No, God.
How about the Club of Bullets?
we can call it that. We can call it the evolution of the Vision.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
No one's ever used that
What about
before.
evolution?
God. It's a mystery.
Well, we both think that Cody's going to win, but we want Drew to win. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens on SmackDown. That's going to do it for us here on this episode of the Brothers of Wrestling podcast. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, the YouTube channel, and leave a comment on the Spotify page if you have any thoughts about what you think is going to happen on this episode of SmackDown or what you think is happening around wrestling. If you like the Tanahashi retirement match or the Braun Punk world title match, whatever your thoughts on are of wrestling in the current day, leave your thoughts down below, and we will see you in the next one.
Peace.